Welcome, everybody, to Pro League here live on MERS Monday at the Nexon Arena. Tonight, we are going to have SK Telecom T1 versus the Generic Green Wings. It's bound to be a great matchup here.
It's going to be a sick match, Valdez. The theme of this week has been MERS, man. Nothing but drama and fear in Korea, but we're here to change things tonight. It's time for some Starcraft. It's time to forget about all the troubles.
Yeah. Got to get them out of your face like that mask you're probably wearing if you're in Korea. There you saw SK Telecom. They are the rulers of round 3 so far. Here are the Generic Green Wings tied with 5 other teams for second place.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match today. Two massive teams, SKT1 and Generic. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing this. Kind of surprised we don't see Maru for Generic this time around. It's like maybe they're giving him a bit of a break this week and let him chill out.
Yeah, that's a big question on a lot of people's minds, but I think you've pretty much hit it on the head there, Moonglade. You know, give him a little bit of break. He comes out every single week. He's got a big match coming up too as well, so not a bad idea to hide him. They've got a lot of good players on the roster regardless. And Generic taking a little bit of extra time to go through their cheering here. We're getting a look at the SKT lineup on the left side. There's Dark. He's not coming out today.
Yeah, not coming out today, surprisingly. They're actually fielding soO this time as the third player. And that's going to be an Expedition loss, our first match in that mirror match, soO versus Rogue. Should be a lot of fun. Should be interesting to see soO. He kind of seems like the ZVZ sniper.
Yeah. Definitely, in a way. Putting him out there in an Expedition loss, not a bad idea at all, especially because almost every team right now is favoring it very highly for Zergs. Nearly always you get Zergs on that map. Later we'll have TY, actually, a Terran coming out on that map. It's going to be very interesting. He's going to be going up against soO.
Yeah, that's going to be a curious one to see how soO is doing. And TY, I mean, both these guys have been struggling a little bit lately in the last few weeks, so it'll be a bit of fun.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if soO can, get off of that loss streak. That's the big one for me.
Yeah, and his today's lineup: soO versus Rogue, Dream versus SOS, Innovation versus Cure, Classic versus Trap.
Yeah, Trap, it looks like, taking the place of Maru today. We're going to have 2 Protosses in that Generic Green Wings lineup. Innovation, he was the ruler. He was the master of round 1 here in Pro League, but he has fallen off a lot since. Not the best play in individual leagues and Pro League, so it'll be interesting to see how he does in the TBT against Cure here. That's definitely a match to look at.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty fun one. Yeah, Innovation's had a lot of trouble lately, actually. He started off this season looking fantastic, but since then he's really dropped off the radar. So I think Cure has a good chance today of taking him out. Then we got Classic versus Trap to finish it off on Deadwing, and Classic's just been looking unstoppable.
Yeah. In pretty much every matchup. I don't think we've seen much of his PvT these days. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah,
definitely looking very strong in PvZ especially, and also PvP.
Oh yeah, his PvZ is looking ridiculous, man. Like, I can't believe it.
Yep. And here's a look at the team ranking so far for round 3. SK Telecom T1 up at the top. They have not taken a loss yet. Kind of looking like CJ Antis in round 2. And as you can see, 6 teams all tied at 2-2. Of course, various different indicator ratings there.
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty interesting. A very close round. Probably the closest we've had so far this year. SKT1 leading the way, though, looking insanely dominant. And I think they have a good chance of furthering that lead today.
Yeah, and Prime all the way down at the bottom, 0-4. They just get worse and worse, man. It's not looking up for them at all. Also taking 2 penalties. Interesting thing about the penalties, MVP takes 1, and that's going to definitely come into effect here, as all these teams are very, very close in terms of wins and losses.
It's great to see, the 3 top races, or 3 different races at the top, all number 3, Maru, Bial, and Hero. That's nice, Valdez. It makes me happy, man.
It's really good. Unfortunately, Hero, the Protoss player, he was on top, but then he took a bunch of losses in Pro League, actually, losing to Departure and then Yonghwa when they went up against MVP.
Yeah. And, he seems to be like in a little bit of a slump. Let's go through these viewpoints real quick. Will Dream be able to overcome SOS? Maru excluded from the entry the 3rd time this season. Well, you know what? Mario could very well be the ace player today. They might be keeping him for that, maybe.
That's a good point, actually. Today, guys, we're not going to have a coach interview, so we're just going to jump straight into the games. Not exactly sure why we're skipping that, but
no one's
regardless,
man. No one's
we've heard too much. We don't want to talk to them anymore.
No spreading of the mers here, man. We're going to get straight into those boots. The players even are like, they're all wearing masks. I don't think they're going to be wearing them inside the booth, but like they all came in today like all wearing it. I think it's probably a good idea, especially for team houses, because if one guy gets sick, they're all getting sick. Yeah,
you can't take chances. For you guys who don't know what we're talking about, MERS, a virus here in Korea. It's called the Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, I think.
Something like that.
Let's talk about the predictions anyway. 3-3. And the foreign team is all on top.
Team Sam is 65%, man. We're leading the way.
Yeah. Unfortunately, after this first game, someone is going to be on top.
Well,
it's going to be me.
Well, man. Yeah, this is going to be
You and Wolf, you decided to choose the wrong player, so I don't know what to tell you, Moonglade.
Definitely taking a chance with Stu, I'll tell you that much. But, you know, there's a theme behind Sum and why he's coming out. It is because he is sniping the Zerg players. So I feel like he's coming into this very confident. He's clearly doing well in the matchup, and if he's getting fielded instead of Dark in this sort of scenario, I think he's looking mighty fine in that matchup.
Yeah, it's true. But at the same time, I look at Rogue, and he's a guy that just does not fail when it comes to Pro League. He's up there near the top. Unfortunately, he hasn't played enough games. He's 11-3 so far. But at the same time, soO himself, he's 9-3. So those guys very, very even in skill level. Both of them very good at ZVZ as well. So this first matchup that we're going into is going to be a big one to start things off. It could go either way.
Yeah, it's going to give him a lot of momentum and make it pretty dangerous, actually. I think if we see SKT win this one, they take it 3-1.
Yeah.
If we see Jenner take it, it's going to go to the ace match. That's what I'm thinking looking at the lineups right now. Because I think Dream is a shoo-in to win, and I think Classic is a shoo-in to win. I think Innovation is going to fall to Cure, and I think it's really going to come down to soO versus Rogue in this one. And if soO can cause that kind of upset in a way, they could take it before the ace match.
Yeah, it's definitely very true. This is a very important match. Also, that one with Innovation versus Cure, I know the predictions on that one are a bit skewed. I think it's 4-2 in favor of Cure, actually. It kind of shows you how far Innovation has fallen.
Yeah, he's fallen far away, man.
You know, let's see what he can do in a TVT. It's going to be on Vonnie Research Station. That's going to be Game 3.
It's going to give him some. It's a pretty comfortable place for him as well. You know, mech on that map is very easy to do, and I'm sure we're going to see that from Innovation. Yeah. Cure, on the other hand, I'm not so sure. He likes to mix it up, and he's fantastic in the matchup too.
Yeah, he's a great player. I think in recent times, not really having the success I think he would want compared to some of his other teammates, and especially the other guys that are coming out today. But we'll get to that matchup a little bit later on today. We're about to jump into soO versus Rogue. Here's soO. He is 6-0 versus Zerg.
Yeah.
When you talk about Zerg snipers, this is what you're saying, Moonglade.
This is what I'm saying, Valdez, and this is why I voted for him today. The last two games, even like the last three, that we've seen him in Pro League. He beat Solar, he beat Ragnarok, he beat Solar again. And that's like the last 3 times, pretty much the last 3-4 weeks, pretty much the last month. Like he's just been coming out for these Zerg players again and again. Something's going on. soO has really figured out this matchup. He's looking comfortable in it.
Oh, yeah.
He must be beating down Dark a hell of a lot to be getting this spot in Pro League.
For sure. But I think today is going to be his real test. You know, Rogue, a very, very strong player over all matchups, especially in these best-of-1 situations in Pro League. You know, sometimes you go into best-of-3s, best-of-5s. He gets behind. He gets a bit emotional. Yeah. That's when you see the weaknesses of Rogue come out of the woodwork. But here in Pro League, he is solid as a rock. And that's the reason they put him out here on Expedition Lost going first.
Yeah, he beat CJ Hero in his last Pro League match. Like, that says enough about who this guy is and what he can do. Yeah. He is fantastic, man. We've seen a lot of cool moves from him in the past. In that last match, he actually went for those foremost. The first player to ever go foremost in a televised match since the massive nerf coming to them.
That was an insane game. Man. Insane game. Definitely go and check out that VOD after you watch this live. But, guys, let's jump into game number 1. It's going to be soO versus Rogue on Expedition Lost right now. Down here in the bottom left, in the red, our Zerg player from SK Telecom T1, it is soO.
up here in the top right for Jin Air Green Wings. It is Rogue.
So, before this game kicks off any further, I want to point out that your top bun today, Moonglade, is looking fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Valdez. I Googled a picture and showed the makeup lady that I wanted to look like this model, and she did a good job. I feel like the man bun on top knot is looking good.
Yeah. You call that a man bun or a top knot? Because I guess a man bun could go anywhere. It's not specifically on top.
Yeah, I guess either is a good word for it. I don't know if there's a difference, really.
Okay.
Man bun, top knot, kind of the same thing, I guess.
I suppose.
I'm kind of new to this philosophy.
Do you call it a top knot if it's in the back, though?
No, no, that's just a bun.
Okay.
Or
all right.
Yeah, that's just a bun. As far as I know, anyway. I mean, I'm kind of exploring this because my hair is finally getting long enough to bun it up.
It's nice.
You're
getting there.
Special, man.
You got past the awkward middle stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I've never made it past there. I've tried.
Well, I kind of screwed up last year when I got that haircut pretty short for summer. So I spent the last year growing it back, and now I'm finally at the stage where I can bun. And
Moonglade's back, boys.
I'm back, guys. The mane is back. It's majestic as ever, and I'm working towards looking like Thor.
Yeah, that's the end goal.
I already look like Jaqen from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Vala Morghulis. You know the reply to that?
I don't want to butcher this. I think it's Valar Doharis.
Something like that, yeah.
Something close, right?
Yeah, something like that. I've been watching Game of Thrones lately, so I haven't seen that a lot. I got to get that blonde streak next as well.
A blonde streak.
Oh, man. Finish the job.
That'd be pretty nice.
Just cosplay.
You definitely want to finish that job, Moonglade.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely go for that.
Well, as this game kind of kicks off a little bit further, we did see a pretty safe play from the Jin Air. You seem to go for that 15 pool into that later expansion. Just playing it safe. Doesn't want to get 9 pool Bane or anything like that from soO. soO, on the other hand, just going for that hatch first, being nice and greedy.
Yeah. I think about as greedy as it gets, too. If I'm not mistaken, I think he went for 15 hatches, then he put down the gas, then he made 2 more drones, and then he put down the pool. So very, very late pool compared to Rogue, but he's going to get ahead because of it. Very slightly, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it makes a little bit of a difference, but not too game-changing at all.
Yeah. I kind of like the build that Rogue did go for. It's very safe against soO. soO can sometimes be a trickster in ZVZ. He's one guy that can, go for like a Roach timing +1, stuff like this, or even just go for a 9-pool Bane like you were saying.
Yeah.
He covers all the spectrums of ZVZ builds here, really, so.
Yeah, he's got a lot of variety in his play, and
and
also another thing to note with what Rogue did, because he went for that early pull, it makes it so the Overlord cannot scout your main base, so you can delay that gas for that much longer, as we did see Rogue do. He got it very late compared to what soO did, so he got out an extra queen. He's going to have 3 queens by the time that second one, the natural finishes up, and yeah, it's a nice way to play. I mean, it means your speed is a lot later, your Baneliness is a lot later, but you kind of make up for it with that extra queen for defense, creep spread, and your economy starts to catch up pretty quickly. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. That's why when we say, maybe soO put down his hatchery a little bit faster and he got those extra drones, it's not going to make the biggest difference in the end because it's a bit of a trade-off, Rogue's able to get ahead in his own way.
Yeah, and let's see what Rogue's actually going to commit to, because so far, nothing on the spawning pool, and he's over 100 gas, so it leads me to believe we might actually just see him go straight into Roaches from here. Yeah, no desire to go for any lings. Just a quick lair, perhaps. He's already making a spine crawler at his natural, so he might want to start to try and block it off soon with an Evo and Roach Warren. Go into that normal sort of style.
On the other side of things, soO, he's about to finish up his speed here, and he's making 10 lings, but only really committing to 10. He made 2 extra drones after that, so it may just be to get a little bit of control on the map, maybe poke a bit at the front of Rogue, because we see him transition into just more drones and even a third base. Maybe he's just trying to get that third base ahead of Rogue and deny a third base of Rogue.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. It's that SimCity up and running. 10 lings on the map. It's gonna stop any sort of creep spread, which is very important, especially if you want to go for that muta play, because you can deny the creep. If you can deny the creep for as long as you can to get to that third base, obviously it's going to be hard to put up Spore Claws, get the queens there to defend, and mutas will just be that much stronger. But I don't think we're going to see that from soO at all.
Yeah, and look at this out of Rogue. He's going with a ton of lings pushing out here. He's getting a very late speed, but he's also getting a Baneling nest and +1 to range. He's making no more drones from here.
Yeah,
this is going to be very interesting.
It is very interesting, and man, he's still got a ways to go He's got like a minute to go on that Zergling speed, so he's going to have a lot of lings for this big attack, and it's pretty much all about hiding it, because he cannot show it at all. If he shows it even once, then it'll essentially not work, because just a massive roaches will happen from soO.
And again, this can happen because he has so many of these queens out. He can push all the overlords out of the base. He's got a nice little sim city at the front. There's no way soO's ever going to scout this.
Yeah.
He just has to play safe on his own front. We see him making a lot of lings now.
Yeah, soO is making a lot of lings, just as he wants to try and deny this third when it comes out. I don't think he's expecting this many lings to come across the map, so it's really going to catch him out. No Baneling nest though, which is the scariest thing of all. If we do see Rogue go for those Banelings, there's really no way that soO can fight this army.
Nice little move here from soO, taking a great trade back at the front of Rogue's base. The Banelings are morphing right in front of all of the lings of soO.
Oh, this might have been a big mistake. That might just be enough from soO, actually. He's got to deal with these Banelings before they hatch there.
And I think he should be able to. He's got 2 queens down here.
He does. Wow, really nicely done.
Yeah, big mistake from Rogue, just a little bit too overconfident with that. Maybe didn't expect soO to have enough lings back at his own base.
Yeah, well, soO made the right choice, and it was just about not having Banelings with this army coming across the map, so he could jump on top of them before Banelings spawn and shut it all down. And now he's making roaches behind this, so he's going to have roaches to deal with the Banelings, and if he just keeps massing them from there, +1's going to be done soon. And there's no way these lings are going to get any damage done.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Rogue at this point in time. We see soO trying to go for a bit of a counterattack, but
well, cannot get these roaches surrounded there. That would be a huge blunder, and we are seeing that.
Yeah.
Another sort of breath of fresh air for Rogue as he tries to get some damage done with it.
And here come the Banelings. No targets from the roaches, but are they going to be able to get a good tip here? There's 2. They're going to get 5 drones. It's something.
All right.
But
not enough there. Yeah. Not enough at all. The tech advantage, the upgrade advantage, every advantage, base advantage, economy, everything is an advantage.
Supplies.
Yeah, soO is so far ahead from here. It's going to take a real miracle for Rogue to get back into this, because he's only starting his third base now and only starting +1 now.
Yeah. soO's owning this game up, man. I'm going to have to eat my words.
Yeah, man, you're going to gobble that all up, man. Me and Wolf are going to be far ahead in the percentages after this one, mate.
I'm screwed.
Yeah,
well, here we go. Here's soO's attack. There's barely anything here for Rogue. He's got his Spine Crawler, but really nice focus fire from the roaches on the Banelings. And we're not going to see great hits from those Banelings at all. Well, get some decent hits, actually.
Some decent hits, but, I mean, that's +1 roaches. No amount of lings are going to really do well. Well, it's kind of been shaped down to a point where if he gets a nice round, he can deal with these 5 roaches left over, but still, the cost efficiency is there now for soO. And
at the end of the day, he's up 11 drones. Yeah. He's got a third base, so far ahead of Rogue. And
like, he can trade for days like this because he is so far ahead in economy.
Rogue's going to have to make some kind of miracle hold here. He's definitely going to lose that third base.
Well, it's going to be a matter of time. He's got enough roaches to kind of stop this onslaught. So he's got a really awkward choke as well. So it's going to be a bit of a delayed death, I think. A slow death, but a true one.
He's got those upgrades on the way, but they're not going to finish. He barely even has enough roaches. And Banelings here awkwardly moving side to side. Nice focus fire here from soO. Not going to do much.
Not going to do much at all. And it looks like that might be it. Valdez finally is breaking on in. Not many roaches left over, and Rogue is going to be dropping. And this could be
GG.
Exactly what SKT needs to get that 3-1 victory. Maybe even a 3-0, man. They got that momentum now.
Could happen. soO taking a big win. He gets his ZVZ record now to 7-0. One of the best mirror matchup records I think we've seen out of any player in Pro League.
Yeah, he is looking on fire in ZVZ right now. Really nice play.
Yeah, I think teams in the future, when they see Expedition lost against SK Telecom, they're going to think of a sniper for soO. I mean, you basically have to at this point.
Yeah, he's looking unstoppable in the matchup. Literally is unstoppable now with a 100% win rate this season. So, there you go. Next matchup is going to be Dream versus SOS. It's going to be a pretty fun one, actually. Dream looking like a god in the matchup, defeating CJ Hero 4-0 in Star League to get to the finals.
CJ Hero. We didn't say that wrong.
Not Liquid Hero.
That's the hero you're thinking about, guys. And yeah, you're 100% right. But SOS, a very tricky player, sneaky player. Let's see if he can hide one up his sleeve here against Dream and maybe go for a hidden base. It's a big map. It's Cactus Valley.
Well, he could try, but I think it might be a little too obvious still. You know, he's done it a couple, too many times to really warrant it ever succeeding again
Yeah.
for at least a year, I think. Like,
Yeah, it's on cooldown now.
it's on cooldown. That's a good way to put it, actually.
Yeah, you can't use that build again for at least 6 months.
Yeah, you got to wait for the minds to forget it before you can throw it out there again.
Yeah.